Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Bryant with SFFT Source, your premier unofficial guide to Six Flags Fiesta Texas. You probably know what time it is. It is time to talk about Holiday in the Park 2017. I've got my ugly sweater on. I've got a suit jacket on. Do those go together? I don't really know. I am not a fashion person, but I'm trying to look fancy and festive all at the same time. Alright, I do want to say one thing. The park has not actually confirmed anything for Holiday in the Park yet. However, we are getting very close to the event, so I want to start talking about some things. Keep in mind, if anything does change, I will update it in the comments of this video and on our online guide to Holiday in the Park, which is sfftsource.com/HIP2017. That link is in the description. That gives you all the information I'm about to talk about in this video. It also includes an interactive map, a frequently asked questions type of section, and there's also an opportunity for you to ask questions on there as well and comment, talk with other people, which I hope you guys take advantage of. So we can talk about kid-friendly activities first. These are the activities that typically come each season to Holiday in the Park. Now this is a very family-friendly event. It's a great event for families who would like to celebrate something that is holiday themed. First up, we will talk about Santa's Castle. Santa's Castle is located in Spassburg. The queue line for Bugs Whitewater Rapids is actually turned into Santa's Castle, and guests can walk through the castle and meet Santa at the end. So a really cool little thing for younger, and I guess maybe older if you're into that, older and younger people to do, and you get to meet Santa Claus. The other main kid-friendly activity they have is Mrs. Claus Workshop. This is located in Crack Axle Canyon, and basically where Bubba's River Cafe is, there's an indoor eating area for Bubba's River Cafe. They actually take this, they transition it into the Mrs. Claus Workshop, and kids can come here and work on personalized desserts. They can drink hot chocolate, and they can hang out with Mrs. Claus. What's cooler than that? So now we're going to move on to the other entertainment section. This is basically the section that I have created for entertainment that the park provides, but is not necessarily like a live singing, dancing, band type of show. So let's jump right in. First off, we'll talk about the Christmas tree lighting. There is a humongous Christmas tree in Rockville, right in front of Rockville High School, and there is a ceremony each night with Santa Claus where he lights the Christmas tree. So lighting the Christmas tree really kind of leads into a lot of other activities that happen in terms of Christmas lights. So it's very important to check out the Christmas tree lighting. I think it's very cool. I think it's one of the best done tree lighting ceremonies in the Six Flags chain. It's definitely worth checking out. Next up, we will talk about the Holiday Express. Guests can get on the train inside the park at Crack Axle Canyon, and you can take the train around the park. And while you're on the train, there are a bunch of holiday themed light up scenes that you can enjoy. Now keep in mind, last year, Der Pilgerbahnhof, which is the train station in Spassburg, was closed. The only place you could board was Crack Axle Canyon. And I would assume that probably helps keep their Holiday Express story intact. So just keep that in mind when you're wanting to ride the train. You will likely have to get on at Whistle Stop in Crack Axle Canyon. Next up, we will talk about Holiday Illuminations, which was brand new last year in 2016. This is a series of Christmas light shows on the Rockville Christmas tree. They redid the lighting on the Christmas tree last year, so now it does really cool designs to a lot of Christmas hits. There are current and classic hits. It's a very cool little kind of walk-by display that they do, and they do that throughout the night after the Christmas tree lighting. Another feature that is making its return is North Pole Reflections. The park has utilized a lot of projection mapping in the Spassburg area, and it looks really good. So I expect this year for North Pole Reflections to return. This is a series of projection mapping that happens on Santa's Castle as well as Sangerfest Hall. So another really cool thing when you're walking through the pathways to stop and take a look at. It's very impressive and a very neat idea. Our last feature in the other entertainment section is the Singing Saps. The Singing Saps is a cool feature where a group of animated trees sing a bunch of Christmas classics. This is over in Spassburg by Fender Bender, the Bumper Cars building. So make sure you check that out as well. That also starts up after dark. It is time to talk about the live entertainment section for Holiday in the Park this year. Now basically what I put into this group is shows that feature live singing, dancing, bands, etc., full out productions basically. Now making its return this year is the Majesty of Christmas. This is at Zaragoza Theater in Los Festivales. Perhaps the most popular Christmas show that this park has ever done. Please keep that in mind when you're planning on seeing it. I would arrive at the theater early because you might not get a seat if you don't get there early. And the Majesty of Christmas basically takes us through the journey of the birth of Jesus Christ. There are lots of cool effects, there are live animals, and it's very cool. I will just leave it at that. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's definitely something worth checking out. Next up, we will talk about My Christmas Card to You. That returns to Rockville High School in the Rockville section. This story basically circulates around the Rockville mailman trying to get cards out to the citizens of Rockville before Christmas. And there is a big journey, there's obstacles, there's a lot of dancing, a lot of live singing, and a live band, and it is a very fun production. Out in front of the Rockville Christmas tree is the Tinsel Tones. The Tinsel Tones are making their return. This is a mostly a cappella show that happens outside of Rockville High School. The park actually sets up a bunch of benches in front of the Rockville Christmas tree so people can sit down and enjoy this show. The show is definitely impressive because it relies on mostly vocal talent. Making its return to Sangerfest Hall stage is Have Yourself a Looney Tunes Christmas. All of your Looney Tune friends get together, they do a Christmas themed show. It's great for little kids. You can grab a meal in Sangerfest Hall, take a seat, and watch this live show. It's important to keep in mind that in past seasons, the Christmas tree lighting that involves Santa Claus, as well as the Majesty of Christmas and Have Yourself a Looney Tunes Christmas actually end prior to the 2 days that the park is closed for Christmas Eve and Christmas. So if you're planning on seeing those shows, make sure you go before Christmas. My Christmas Card to You and Tinsel Tones will run all the way to the end of Holiday in the Park, which is January 7th. It's also important to keep in mind that the shows are probably the most popular part of Holiday in the Park, so just like Fright Fest, you've really got to plan ahead and make sure that you keep a schedule when it comes to planning on getting into the theaters to see the shows. As soon as the information becomes available, I will post the live shows schedule on our main website. If you go to the Holiday in the Park guide, there will be a link that leads you to the show times on the live shows page. So be on the lookout for that. I will post on social media when that becomes available. As always, if you guys have any questions about Holiday in the Park, please ask below, ask us on our main website. I will do my best to either answer your question or find that information for you. We will head out to the park in December to check out Holiday in the Park, and we will have a series of videos for you that feature the live shows, the decorations, the ambiance, basically everything that's happening at Holiday in the Park, and we look forward to bringing that video to you. Thanks for watching, guys.